Welcome to Booking It. Today's episode will be the Iliad Part 7, the finale.
We think.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Booking It. I'm, of course, Cooper Cobbs, your eloquent host, and we do believe this is the final episode on the Iliad. So we've reached the end, the final duel. So let me introduce the folks who will be finalizing our. This is probably our longest series. No, never mind. We've done more episodes on other things, but one single book. I think it's our longest series we've ever done. 7 episodes.
Absolutely.
So okay, across from me, Mr. Tanner Lewis. How you doing, sir?
Howdy, folks. I'm doing well.
Lavender shirt.
It's a lavender haze.
Lavender haze. I see. All right. To my
fancy.
left, in the Michigan hat as always, and then the awesome Second Amendment American shirt.
Something like that, yeah.
One of the mini shirts he has of that
Yeah.
elk he wears. It's great. Love it.
Yeah.
Over there.
Hi.
To
You
my
even
right,
say my name.
hot pink shirt.
Oh, yeah.
I said his head.
No, you didn't.
I didn't. Well, the man in the Michigan hat is good enough. It speaks
Yeah,
for
it's fair.
itself. To my right, Mr. Bryson Bostwick.
Hey,
In the hot pink, burnt pink,
He looks
fiery pink.
He
Very
looks
pink.
like a golfer right now.
He
Like
does.
Kind of does.
He does. Bryson could be a golfer.
a pro golfer too.
I just need the
We
Like,
could have top golf sometime together. That'd be fun. Is Bryson
That
good?
would
Are you
be
good at golf,
fun.
Bryson?
I'm not driving to Top Golf again.
What? Top golf is so much fun.
Are you good? Are you good at golf?
Awesome.
I would say I'm mid.
Mid.
I could be if I put more time into it.
Yeah, fair. But who wants to
I
do
just
that?
have power. I don't have aim.
It's true.
That's
Like-
so true.
like when
Isaiah
we-
launches
over the summer we went together, right? And I swung the prettiest, but then Isaiah would just whack it, and
It
it's
would
like
go all
ugly.
the
But
way
he would
down.
go
No,
like,
I got
oh
it
my
literally
God.
all the way
No,
to
yeah.
the back net.
I can get
multiple
it.
times.
No, I can get it to the hole very quickly. It's just the putting where I mess up so bad.
Speaking of like hitting it very far, the Rangers are in the World Series. Can
Yes.
we believe it? Can we believe it?
Wait,
The first
yes,
game
that is
is
definitely
tonight
one
of
of
the
us.
World Series, and man,
We're watching.
We
I
are
can't
so
believe.
Bryson's coming home, and we are going to have a
Oh my
jam
goodness.
session until it begins, and then we're
Yes.
going to watch it,
right.
and then we're going to
We're
send
so
Bryson on
excited.
his merry
First-
little way so he can go to bed.
Very little way.
It's first time since 2011. I cried like a baby when they lost in 2011.
You did.
Yeah, I did.
Imagine caring about
You were
baseball.
what, like 5?
I was 5. It's 5.
So he was still a
Actually,
baby.
that
I
was
don't
still when you were
remember that.
very, very, very into baseball.
Yeah,
Like,
I was into baseball when I was a lot younger. So yeah.
That is true.
Okay, well, we're talking about kind of some games in the Iliad. So we got
games of death and
Book 20
glory.
Book 22, Hector v. Achilles. Book 23, the victor. Spoiler, who knows who the victor is? And they have
I have
Achilles.
no idea. Wow.
I
Achilles
know
wins.
he drug Hector's body around Patroclus' grave.
That's pretty funny.
It's kind of weird because like
Not
for some
really.
reason I picture that scene in it sounds really weird. Tangled, where she's like, "This is
What?
the best day ever," and then she like starts crying and things like that. It's like Achilles like, "Yes, I
That's
killed
fair.
Hector, victory!" And he's like,
But
Patroclus.
But Hector.
He's like, Hector, yeah.
But Hector.
And then
I
yeah.
don't
Anyway,
see it.
so you don't see it.
No.
I didn't expect you to. That's okay. Isaiah, take it away, my man. You're leading us.
All right. We'll start with which book was it? Well, the first one was like 22, I think he sort of book was. I don't know which one it was. But basically, so book 22 is when we have the final fight. See, what'd you guys think about that?
Well,
It was underwhelming for me.
really,
Yes.
Really?
Like I was expecting a big duel, and it just. I was talking to Hannah. Not.
the T is silent. The T is silent.
Oh my goodness.
Silent judgment over here.
I'm sorry.
Sound
I'm
of
so sorry.
silence. Hey.
Okay.
Yo.
No, Tanner and I were talking about it, and it's basically just they run around the city like 3 times,
Right.
and then he's like, "Okay,
No, then Athena is like, okay, hey, listen, bro. As your brother, totally your brother. Because
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I
Definitely not
teleported
this
out
guy.
here to
I
help
wanted
you
this-
out.
I wanted this to be a man versus man, but then Athena has to go in, and the odds are then stacked against Hector, and like he has to die then. But I'd rather it be
Yeah.
Hector versus Achilles
Go out in a
completely,
blaze of glory.
and like Hector throws his spear and just
Misses.
completely misses, and then
By the way,
Achilles does the same
Achilles
thing.
misses, and then Athena's like, "Here's your spear back," but she doesn't give it back to Hector, and it's like,
then
really?
my favorite part happens where Hector gets hit in the neck with a massive spear, but it does not pierce his windpipe.
I
so
know.
He can
It
still
Yeah.
very specifically says doesn't
Yep.
pierce his windpipe, and he can still speak. And he's like, "Just give my body back, and don't like, don't humiliate me after death.
And Achilles gives him the bird and says, "No." That's literally what he does, though.
In Greek terms, yes. Maybe.
Like,
Basically.
as far as Greek like literature and like what he
like,
said was,
the dogs will eat you.
the dogs will eat you, and I will drag your body around, and the like birds will eat your flesh.
Yeah,
and
but
you
Apollo kind of helps him out there.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my goodness.
That's true, but
Yeah.
it takes a little while. I mean, he still, drags him around
For a while.
Patroclus' grave.
He did it for like 9 days, I think, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
11 days.
11 days.
It was 11
It's
days.
even more than I thought.
Well, no, because I thought what happened was at the very end, Priam comes, and it's like, listen, we need 9 to do a funeral. On the 10th day, we'll bury him, and then we'll have like feasts on the 11th day, and then you can come back on the 12th day, and we'll fight again. So it's supposed to be kind of the same thing that they did, right, for Patroclus.
Mm-hmm.
That might be it.
Yeah.
So something
And
like that.
didn't like the gods preserve his body in a
Yep.
sense so that the
Apollo
dogs
did.
and all that? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of weird.
Mainly, yeah, Apollo and Aphrodite.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
agree. I mean, is it really the thing we've been building up to? It doesn't really seem like it,
No,
does
that
it?
is true. I was expecting more of like a cool fight.
Everybody it's just kind of like inevitable, like you talked about, Bryson. It's just the gods have decided it's Achilles' time to be victorious,
absolutely destroy.
Cash in
Yeah.
on his glory.
cash in,
Oh, yeah.
and then Hector, sorry bud, your luck has run out. So and it's even been more tragic by the fact that he's kind of internally deciding, like, am I going to go out and fight, or am I going to stay behind these city walls? And my parents want me to stay, and all these kind of things. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. The reason the reason he goes back is basically, I can't be a coward now. Like,
I can't bring shame to my city.
Yep.
Yeah, but how are you? I don't know. He
Doesn't make sense.
He would live to fight another day and erase that shame later if he goes back in, but instead he stays out and he fights and dies, and he never has a chance to save his city again.
And he's living his wife widowed and his son fatherless.
Exactly.
Yep.
And
And his body dragged behind the chariot for a couple of days,
I don't know. I didn't see. I'm not from that culture, so I don't see it as shameful as he does. But
Mm-hmm.
if he had went back in like everyone else had done, every other Trojan had left and gone back in the city, like that I don't see any shame in that.
No.
Like, they're losing, they need to.
If he was the
recoup.
only one that went back, that'd be different.
Yeah, he's the last one. Like that's how war works. The leader goes in, he's the first one there, he's the last one to leave, but it doesn't mean he can't leave.
Mm-hmm.
And he will come back to fight another day. I mean, yeah, if Hector had stayed in and then just like completely refused to go back out and to fight, which I don't think he would have done. He would have gone back. What are you doing?
I got something on my microphone.
If he had gone back out there, he would have. I mean, he would have gone back out there. Is what I'm saying. So
Mhm.
I don't see the shame in going back to Troy,
Right.
Mhm.
and I think that's also something
Yeah,
where the
and
gods kind of interfered a little bit.
Lightheart talked about this in Heroes of the City of Man, where Hector is fighting as a bit more of an added complication. Like, Achilles is just being like selfish glory is what he wants. you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And maybe some vengeance in there.
Yeah.
But Hector is fighting mostly for his city, even though it's kind of twisted up with his own personal kleos and his own reasoning for why he didn't just go back in the city. We can talk about why going back in the city should have outweighed his glory, right? But there is some more sympathy for Hector and the reasoning for why he fights. But still, it's still sad. So, but it just kind of, I think it takes away from the climax when it's just kind of inevitable that he was going to be on the outs.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that Achilles is going to die anyway soon, even though we don't get to see it in the Iliad.
Yeah.
So
That's
boy.
true.
And I think that we're kind of just left at the end with, and we'll get to it. Book 24 I liked a lot. I thought that Priam and Achilles was a great scene. But, we're left with despair because it's inevitable. The gods are going to play with men, and fate keeps marching on, and these people are going to die. And what can you do but despair, So
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's where we are.
Yeah.
Yay, happiness.
Greek mythology, everybody's happy, and all the
Yeah.
gods live in their little
Yeah,
twisted.
Percy Jackson got it wrong. Come on, man.
Yeah.
There's no despair in Percy Jackson. You need to scar some sixth graders in Percy Jackson. You want it to be real.
I don't think it had that purpose.
Yeah.
No. All right. So the games.
You got the funeral games 23.
Yeah.
Beautiful,
Yes. Thoughts?
beautiful.
I like them, not like them. I know he's talking.
Well, yes. I loved all the descriptions. It's like, and you get this woman, and you get this like large shield made entirely out of gold, and our research assistant has something to say.
Our research.
Swing your microphone over. Just swing it over. Just swing it over. No. Oh,
A tripod.
Bryson asked me that in the car today. Okay. Somebody asked, "What is a tripod?" Bryson asked me this in the car today when he was reading, and I said, "I have no idea." I don't know.
It's time for research.
Because I thought maybe
What's
my
a what?
translation a tripod.
Tripod?
Yeah.
Because remember, it's promised to Achilles earlier in the
Oh.
book. By Agamemnon.
Oh, you're
That's one of the
right.
gifts he's going to give him, like 7 tripods or something. And then here, Achilles promises the winners of different events.
Yeah,
tripods
I
as
never
one
really
the
thought of
prizes.
that. I was just kind of like, oh, some cool reward they got.
That's another thing.
Cool.
Yeah, I know. I was like, they didn't have cameras back then, right?
My Google search history.
Well, that's the first thing that came to mind. I'm like, wait a second. This ain't
My
that
Google
new.
search history isn't going to be the same after typing in what is a Greek tripod.
No, I think it's probably something to do with like an altar, maybe.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I guess
It is a 3-legged structure.
Wow.
I know. Big.
No way.
Used for sacrifice. You forgot that part.
Hang on, I'm
Religious
seeing it now.
It's a
Try
piece-
three.
pod.
It's a piece
pod
of
thing.
It's a piece of religious furniture.
Religious furniture.
Yeah,
Oh,
they were
yeah.
bronze. Like they were a type of tripod cauldrons were a type of bronze vessels that were used in ancient Greece that were mainly used for ritual sacrifice.
So why does he need 7?
Because 7 is a holy number, I guess.
Oh. Big brain.
I'll
That
be
came
honest.
from Colorado.edu.
So with the
Okay.
with the funeral games and stuff,
Yeah.
I was kind of like, I struggled through it, and I was like, we're kind of sandwiched here between, Hector and Achilles, which is a cool duel, if it wasn't all that it was worked up to be.
Yeah.
And then Achilles and Priam later on, which is going to be a great heartfelt scene. And now we just have a bunch of funeral games that have no bearing on the overall story.
Yep.
And are just these
and
dudes
yeah.
being dudes and still
Yeah, but then the gods still like help other people win and like put their will on
right.
who wins
Right.
and
It's
who
like a
loses.
it's like a microcosm of the actual war going on.
Well,
no,
and
I
it's
love when I forget which god it was, but like he jumps into Diomedes.
Oh yeah, in the race.
Into his chariot, and he like breathes new life into the horses, and they just like run so fast, and like they're just gone. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then they had that big debate
Okay.
after that about the guy who was supposed to win, but then Diomedes won with the gods' help.
That's right.
And then how they wanted to give him the second place prize, but the guy who was second was like, no. So, yeah.
Well, I didn't like all the bickering.
Oh my
like
God.
they are men, and so they are gonna falter.
We
but,
are
like,
men.
they've been fighting together for like how long? 9 years.
Right.
Something like that. You'd think.
They're still like bickering over. You're still alive. Like, why are you bickering over second place, first place?
Yeah.
I know.
because there's glory.
So, by the way, this is a question that arose when I think during the foot race, I think Ajax got like knocked out by somebody, and he was like, I think that was a god. So, like, do people know when the gods are helping them, or do they just think they're being awesome? Because this kind of goes back to the debate we had last week, where you guys are trying to make the argument that, well, Hector is claiming all the glory that the gods are just giving to him by helping him out. And it's like, well, did Hector know that he was they were helping him out? Uh-oh.
It felt like in a lot of that. No,
No?
it felt like he didn't.
I think.
Okay, well, then we win the argument.
I think whenever, I guess not helping him out, but it's the opposite. Right before the fight, whenever Athena comes in disguised as whatever that guy's name is and tells Hector, we can go take Achilles together,
Oh, Athena, like as his brother or something?
Yeah, something like that. And then kind of like totally abandons him. He realizes that
Yeah,
it's the
he's right.
gods,
That was-
but
that was
not
a-
helping
No,
him.
that was a sad line, too.
Yeah.
Because he was like, oh, boy,
Mm-hmm.
I just got
Oh,
played.
he realized.
I just got played.
And he knew in his heart.
Yeah. Well, the moment he looked back, he's like, give me another spear.
As soon as he was kind of like,
Oh.
like reach back for a spear. It's like,
It ain't
someone-
there. No.
And it's like, it said like he knew in his heart that he was doomed
He
or
was,
something like
yeah,
that.
betrayed by the gods.
Yeah. It's like, sorry, bud.
So
He's
I don't know if they'd know
and
that
it
they
was
were
in
helped
that
by
moment
the gods.
that you realized
You're riding the roller coaster of the gods, and you're going down. you know?
Yeah.
in Hector's mind.
Or up,
It
because
was in
going
that
down on a
moment
roller
that he
coaster is
knew
always better than going up
he
on a
had
roller
lost
coaster. Okay, sorry. We need to examine this metaphor. So roller coaster metaphors are used very often.
Yeah.
But is going up roller coaster the bad part of the metaphor, or the
Going
good
down,
part?
because down is the best part of it. When you go
Exactly.
down.
So like going up is always annoying. You get that loud clicking noise. You're
sitting
bored.
uncomfortable. Yeah, you're bored,
Like,
waiting,
You're waiting. It's hot.
anticipation for the
I guess
drop.
it really depends on whether going down is leading you to a death in jagged rocks,
But then it wouldn't be a roller
or if
coaster.
going up is bringing you to the clouds of the gods at Olympus.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
just
but
thinking
like,
it's more
metaphorically,
generally.
I
I'm
think
thinking-
the height is the best, but in real life, it's the going
It's
down.
a
that's
drop,
fine.
yeah.
Maybe we should do like an escalator instead. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But it's more fun to fall down to the bottom.
because it's easy.
In the
Because
roller
there's not much
coaster
of
itself.
a weight.
I love dissecting metaphors. Yes, smooth the descent,
This is
easy
too
is
much
the
for
way,
my brain at
but
this
to
time in
return
the
to the
morning.
cheerful skies and this the task. A mighty Libra lies.
Yeah. All right.
Virgil,
Back to the
Iliad.
book.
Back to
And
back
the
to back to
Aeneid.
back to
Yeah.
back.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Anything
enough
else?
about roller coasters. But to like fully answer your question with that, I think just the same as how he knew that he was betrayed by the gods, that they can at least kind of have an idea that they were helped by the gods sometimes.
Mhm.
Obviously, there are ones that are easy, like with Diomedes. He got the strength and all that to go fight
Yeah,
the gods.
and
Like that
they
was
were all
obvious.
Yeah,
saying,
he's
yeah,
be- he's
he
got
won
he's
because
either
of
like, oh, I'm being so good right now.
Yeah.
Or he's like, oh wait, yeah. Like the
So
gods
I
are-
think they can always tell that something is helping them. They may not always realize it's the gods. It may just be like think it's fortune or luck or something, like that they're lucky
Yeah.
with it.
Mhm.
But they're always they can tell something. It's like something.
Yeah.
There's something different. Most
Yeah.
likely.
something's up.
Yeah.
All right,
But-
book 24.
Yes, I was about to say that. Moving on to the. You want to talk about
Save
with
Priam.
Achilles and
So I liked book 24, okay, because Achilles is kind of like worn out by the funeral games and by like weeping and then playing and then mourning and then laughing and being sorrowful, and being joyful, and he's just done with it, you know.
And
And
so
so
his
like,
mom comes up out of
yeah,
the
no,
sea.
well then first the gods
yeah.
are like, you know what, we got to give Hector back to his parents, you know, like we're kind of merciful sometimes, I guess. So now's a good time to
Really?
do that. And so they're like, hey, Thetis, like, come here, girl. And they're like, okay, so go tell your
like
son
calling
to
a
like.
dog or something.
yeah, Cooper. It's a bit weird.
That's
my
kind of
guy.
how it worked, though.
It's
Like
kind
that's kind of how it happened.
He's like, yo, get your little son and get him to like, you know, meet Priam and like give him back his son. Anyway,
yeah.
Priam shows up. They have a nice meeting, and it's just like shocking, and actually kind of got me in here. It's like one of my maybe my favorite scene, the whole thing.
Well, especially after kind of the build up. I think it's is it in 22? 22, Priam has this whole speech. Like
Right.
This,
Mhm.
all these thoughts going on in his head about like what losing would be like and what Hector not coming back would feel like for him. And
He's feeling it.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
him talking about what would happen to him, and like he would be the one out there on the barren waste being eaten by birds and dogs, and
Right.
Mhm.
yeah,
But-
so
but
that
like-
kind of sets up for him coming in this final desperate plea for give me my son back. Like we've
Mhm.
lost everything. Why do you continue to take from us?
Right.
So I would say I think that there's some humility that's starting to happen in Achilles because of what happened with the funeral games and the way that he responded to the other guys. They were able to
Character
even have-
growth? Question mark.
What?
What?
I didn't know Achilles.
No, that's
was
right. That's right.
possible.
Because he like separates some fights, kind of peacekeeping. We talked about the Diomedes first place, second place thing, kind of resolves that and things. So yeah.
The Diomedes question. The Diomedes complex.
Yes, it's a movie title right there.
So there's just a setup now of there's a setup now where Achilles is ready to hear and Priam is humble to go, and there's
Mhm.
a good setup.
Mhm.
It's true. And then Priam just was like, here's my offer, and then it's like breaks down, and then Achilles kind of like feels him and like breaks down too, and like on the floor, this dude who's like killed, exterminated, like 49 and 50 of the guy's sons, like all of them. And then he like just like two dudes weeping together, you know, like.
I thought you guys were supposed to be men. Like, what are you doing?
No, but it's good. Like
But it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's men who've lost
was
everything
joking.
together.
Yeah.
They're like, this is all gone to crap. You know what? You can have your son back. I'm sorry I mutilated him here.
I'm sorry that I no, I love when it was Hermes that showed up, and he was in the he was showed up and he was pretending to be a Myrmidon, a Greek soldier, and he shows up and he's helping Priam, and so Priam's asking him like, so wait, what's been happening with my son? Like, will it be okay? And Hermes says something along the lines of, well,
He
Well, Achilles has been dragging him around Patroclus' grave for the past couple of days, but I mean, we preserved his body, so it's fine.
Okay, so here's what I want to read. So this is line 503 in my book. Honor then the gods, Achilles, and take pity upon me, remembering your father. Yet I am still more pitiful. I have gone through what no other mortal on earth has gone through. I put my lips to the hands of the man who has killed my children.
Oh my gosh.
So he spoke, and stirred in the other a passion of grieving for his own father. He took the old man's hand and pushed him gently away, and the two remembered, as Priam sat huddled at the feet of Achilles, and wept close for manslaughtering Hector. And Achilles wept now for his own father, now again for Patroclus. The sound of their mourning moved in the house. Yeah, so that was pretty.
Yeah.
That got me.
That was good.
Got me.
I just thought it was. I guess this plays into Greek culture and like what they thought the difference was between life and death. But I thought it was crazy. In our times, more humiliation comes in life. The most humiliation.
Right. The best thing you can do sometimes is die.
Yeah.
And like be remembered.
And people try to like torture you and humiliate you before death. But in this book, all of the humiliation, all of the demoralization comes after death. And Hector never really experiences any of it. It's just his body that does. And it's all of his family and his friends that see it happen. And I just thought it was like strange. I guess that's their mythology and their afterlife. And because we have Patroclus coming back, we have his ghost. So I wonder if Hector could see what was going on, if Hector felt disturbed or Hector felt dishonored, like his soul did, seeing that. But
I don't know.
No, that was just really, really strange to me. But I mean, it kind of makes sense with the whole rest of the book. Just the honor or the dishonor comes after death. Like it's all about how am I going to finish this life? Which, I mean, that's a question we should all consider.
It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think that the Iliad is full of people who are considering how their death, you know, and not a lot of our culture did that, and that was totally revealed during COVID when people are like, "Oh yeah, I might die, and I might die soon. I want to live." No, and it's not good, you know. So, I kind of want to talk about if you don't mind me hijacking your Isaiah, so after that, Achilles tries to comfort Priam, and then just like does this. I'm reading. This is a different translation because it's in the study guide book, but. There are two great jars that stand on the floor of Zeus's halls and hold his gifts. Our miseries one, the other blessings. When Zeus, who loves the lightning, mixes gifts for a man, now he meets with misfortune, now good times in turn. So just kind of this picture of Zeus, just like arbitrarily, just like, ooh, so some good blessings today, or some like, some
what
misery.
am I feeling? What am
What am I
I
feeling?
feeling?
Did I have Chick-fil-A or Subway today? I don't know. Am I feeling good or bad? You know. And just how
Wait, which one was meant for which?
Obviously, Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
This is a Chick-fil-A day.
Right. Because sometimes, you know, some people will be like, if you get a judge who just had Chick-fil-A, then you might get a lighter sentence than a judge who just had some, you know, KFC or something. But anyway,
so I hope none of our listeners like KFC.
No, I'm not. It's fine. I don't really care.
Actually, we don't care if you do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the whole point. Everybody's apathetic towards KFC. So okay, what was I gonna say? I was saying like how uncomforting his comfort is. Just like how his worldview can lend no comfort to this guy. He's like, sorry, man. Like
it happens.
Zeus does it, you know. But as Christians, we have the mindset of God's working all things for good. We don't. His ways are higher than our ways, but He has a reason. We can trust His reasons are just, and that He's bringing about the greatest good, which is His own glory, which is our good. You know. So. Just the model of the God of comfort who's with us in our struggles and things like that. It's just so much more compelling and comforting than the model that Achilles tries to comfort Priam with, which is just bankrupt and saddening. And you know what? I mean, it's a fitting into the book.
How are you even supposed to start comforting a guy who, you've like killed almost every one of his sons?
Right.
That's just.
Yeah. And then to me, like it's one of those like
that's almost like. I don't know. That's almost hurtful and shameful for Achilles to even be trying to
like,
do that.
Mm.
Because
Mhm.
Agamemnon did it to Achilles earlier. He's like, sorry, man, the gods made me do it. like, I had no
Exactly.
control.
Yeah.
Which is really what the verse in James is talking about that we mentioned earlier. The you can't claim that God was at fault for your own sin,
Mhm.
right? Because it was your own lust, your own desires, and that's totally what is happening here. People are trying to, play it off on the gods when it was their own faults and imperfections and sins that led to this thing.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But I was just kind of struck by that. It happens oftentimes in nihilistic movies, right? Where they're like, nothing matters, but we're trying to like do this whole movie to search for meaning. And at the end, what's the answer? Nothing matters, but love anyway, guys. And it's just like so empty. It's
Yeah.
so empty. And I was like, it's empty. Like, you realize that,
It
guys.
does. Yes.
And
It
it-
feels very empty, and it is. very
exactly. The well is dry. I can confirm. It looks
Mhm.
dry. It feels
We have
dry.
searched
it
the
is
well
dry.
very thoroughly.
Yes, exactly. And so here it's the same thing. It's, man, the Iliad has lasted for a while. It reveals something true about man and war and glory and shame and fighting for people and all the things. But also its worldview is bankrupt. And at the end, we see that revealed potently in the final scenes, even though I like the scenes a lot. So it's good stuff. Like, I was really engaged reading this final book. So
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
The whiteboard.
the whiteboard's coming out.
No,
Alright.
yeah, like, but what you had said earlier about the gods just pursuing, or like, what is it? Encouraging the men to go down the path they were already on, giving them the strength to just
Mm.
continue to go down the path they're already on. Like, it's nothing that the gods are tempting them to do that's outside of what they wanted to do already.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what is it?
We have a question around on the board
Question
now.
on the board now.
What satisfied Achilles' wrath?
Fine, Cooper, you read it.
Sorry, it's you can cut that out. You can read it.
Okay. So we have a question on the board. What satisfied Achilles' wrath? Thoughts? You guys answer. Discuss.
I don't think anything really did. I mean, he just got angry, and then he was like happy and sad, happy and sad. Like,
Mhm.
satisfaction comes when you are like content. You just have one emotion. And then Achilles is like bipolar between joy and sadness, between mourning and between funeral games and things like that. And he's just broken. In that, the pre-om scene reveals that too, where he's just like, willing to adjust and mourn and do all these things.
Yeah, is he finally content at the end of the book?
Not really.
Yeah.
His anger is
No,
just
I
kind
don't
of,
think so.
I don't know. It's like,
It's been buried.
yeah, it's been buried beneath more things.
Yep.
So, and
Come back later, probably.
Achilles' rage burns on in the embers of a flame.
it'll be the spark
Wow.
that'll spark the fire that'll burn the city of Troy down. Poe Dameron, quote it again. Let's go. Oh man.
No. I thought
Hey,
you were
Achilles is Poe Dameron. I just hop into a
What?
jet. I just get out of the out
Achilles
of my
gets in his
tent
X-wing
and I go blow stuff up.
does a bombing run on Troy, and then
No,
What is
that's
going
from
on, yo?
that's from 9. Do you remember that scene in
Okay.
9 where
I tried to forget that movie.
Yeah, I think we all.
All right, back to the book. Yeah.
Can you contrast the opening sentence with the closing?
All right, we are contrasting the
hard
opening
when you have my
sentence
book.
of the Iliad with the closing sentence. The opening sentence is like, rage, sing goddess or muse of the rage of
Rage
Peleus' son.
goddess, sing the rage of Peleus' son Achilles. Murderous, doomed, that cost the Achaeans countless losses.
By the way, it is Achaeans, I think, right?
Yeah, Achaeans.
I don't care.
Okay. Well, the final one is, and so the Trojans buried Hector, breaker of horses.
Breaker of Horses is a cool line, though. But yeah, I mean, the rage of Achilles
It
brought
opens
about the
with
death of
rage
Hector.
of Achilles, and the end is
Yeah, what can
Hector being
rage must inherently lead to death and lead to mourning.
Mhm.
So
I mean, all his life, basically, he's just pursued this one thing that's never going to be satisfied. That's always going to be. He's always going to come up empty, and he. I like how he thinks he's taking the high ground, like
Silver Anakin have the high.
moral high ground. Yeah, he's like, my wrath is pure.
it's a
My
magic
rage
loss,
is-
yeah.
Yeah, my rage is only fueled by revenge, but it's not. It's like it's tinged with the glory and the fame,
Self-glory,
aspect.
vainglory, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he isn't satisfied when he finally gets revenge.
Mm.
Nope.
He still has to.
Hunger and thirst for it.
Yeah.
All right. Did you do like a recap of the Iliad?
That's what I was
overall
about to say.
thoughts?
Do a recap, thoughts, rating.
Yeah.
you
Did
know?
Did each of us have a favorite book? Can you narrow it down to one
Oh,
book?
jeez.
I'd
No.
say when Patroclus comes out and fights, and
That's a good
book
one.
24, last
Okay.
one.
Yeah, honestly,
so book 16.
I was gonna say
and
book
book
16.
24. Book
Yeah.
16 is a winner.
yes.
Yeah.
I don't
Book
remember
16's
like what
amazing.
goes in what book, so that's why I was like, oh.
Yeah. Basically, the ones
I'm
you
gonna
remember.
agree with them on this.
Yeah.
Hoping book 16 is the one I'm thinking of.
That's
That's when
Patroclus comes out.
Patroclus-
Patroclus
yeah.
That's
comes
when
out with the armor.
that's
Yeah.
comes out,
Okay, yes.
yeah. That's
yeah.
where they have the description of the armor and
No, 17, because
That's-
Achilles doesn't
yeah.
learn until afterwards.
Yes,
or
it's
18.
later.
that he dies.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Yeah. I was
Tanner,
thinking
Tanner loved the 300 lines description of the shield, though.
Oh, yeah.
honestly.
it
Oh,
was
yeah.
so cool.
By the way, we
though.
need to post the photo of the shield. I don't think we've posted it on
We
Patreon
still haven't
yet.
done that yet.
That's true.
We promised
Yeah,
it
yeah,
last
right
time.
now.
We're
Sorry.
sorry.
It'll be posted on the blog too.
Okay, there you go.
Ooh,
Fun.
it will.
Cool.
Ooh.
All right.
Ooh.
Ooh, okay. Ooh, okay. I think this is better than Theogony, obviously.
Oh,
So-
absolutely.
Oh, it's so much more entertaining than
It is.
Theogony. Theogony was like, and they slept. Yeah.
We're not gonna go back there.
Theogony, dark.
So
Depressing.
what's your rating, 1 out of 10?
Oh gosh. Well, as something that has shaped Western culture, a 10. As something that I like sit down and read for fun, I don't know, a 5 or
0.
6.
Yeah.
But like overall,
Mm.
I mean, coming into it with like an appreciation of things, and I'll probably give it a 7 or 8. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's morally bankrupt, I guess. It's got a bad worldview, but
Oh,
we still
absolutely.
learn great things from it. It's a loss that deserves respect, so that's kind of where I'm coming from.
Yeah. I'd probably say like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's shooting like a 6 or an 8.
I'd go with a 6.5.
8. Oh boy, that's high.
I said 7 or 8.
Wait, I thought you just said 0 a second ago. How'd you go from 0 to 8?
I was being sarcastic on
He's
that. Like
got-
as
Oh,
far
okay.
as like
Not bad.
me sitting down and reading that ever.
Yeah, will y'all read
sitting
this
down
again?
and reading it again?
Will we
Yeah.
read this again?
No.
No.
Probably. I mean,
When
maybe
I
in the
get
far future.
when I
but
find
no.
when I get it in a leather bound copy and I'm
Of course you
sitting
will.
in a
Of
leather
course you will.
recliner
Of
next to
course.
a
It's all
roaring
gotta be
fire
leather.
in the middle
And
of
Tanner's
winter as
like-
an old man.
And I am
Yes.
like, Tanner's like, I am so cool. I'm going to read the Iliad. And my leather bound edition.
That's the only time I'll ever do this again.
When we
Thing is,
I
I
do it
can
for the-
see him
I do
doing
it-
it too.
I do
I
it
do
for
see
the
you doing it as well.
I do it for the experience of like reading it, not for like reading.
You could read
it.
so many other books, though, right there.
Yeah.
Like,
I know I do so many things when I have
You
that.
could read Lord of the Rings.
you
When
could
I-
read Lord of the Rings, yeah.
When I
He will.
am successful, I will have
Oh,
a
when I am successful.
huge
When?
library.
When?
Oh, okay.
When?
Hey,
I feel like we
you
all
have to be
will.
positive about that.
Got it.
I want to weigh in because I love all of his imagery. And so there was one in 24 where he says he's describing, it's Hermes, but he's showing up as somebody else, right? He's showing up as this, what was he? Anyways, he's showing up as Hermes, and he's taking Priam into Achilles' tent, and he says, like a young prince sporting his first beard, just in the prime and fresh, warm pride of youth. I love
No,
all
he's
the
good.
pictures
He's a
that
good
he
writer.
writes. I like his
Obviously.
imagery. I like his metaphors. And I know that he goes crazy on a lot of them, but I think that those are really
No,
fun.
they are.
And so I've enjoyed those in this book. I've
Yeah.
enjoyed the writing of the
Mhm.
book.
It is definitely well written and
Turns-
well done.
Turns out the guy who's done more than to shape Western storytelling than anybody else is kind of a good writer.
No way.
No way.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
That takes so much thought and effort
Good
to come
thought.
to that decision.
Okay. Are we done? Donor shoutouts. All right, guys. We're telling the story. So
no.
after the battle last episode, somehow
Everyone's still alive.
everyone's still alive.
No way.
But a lot of people died because of the lightning that my
Oh.
mom sent down.
Yeah.
And so they need to have some funeral games because they're the Greeks. They want to have some
Yeah, of
fun.
course, of course.
So we're going to have some funeral games with these people.
Yes,
and
we are.
we're going to have like chariot racing and boxing
Ooh.
and foot racing
Ooh.
and swimming
Ooh. Wait.
and bench pressing some oxen. And,
Wait.
Bench press.
I
wanna
already know
see
most
those
of games.
games.
All right, Isaiah.
Please let me see.
All right, Isaiah, kick us off then. You tell the story of some of our patrons bench pressing. By the way,
Wait.
someone tell them where they should go if they want to get like an awesome shout out like this.
You should go to patreon.com/bookinit.
That's right.
Sign up for any of our tiers.
That's right.
That are $5 and up.
$5 and up. Yes.
$5 and up gets you the shout out. $2 a month gets you the patron only posts, which are awesome.
And then $10 and up and more give you a bunch of extra stuff.
Yep,
and
go check it out.
All that. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Isaiah,
All right.
pick
We're
some
gonna
patrons,
start,
do some bench pressing.
We ain't gonna do like the bench. Well, I guess
Do
we'll
it,
do
do
bench
it, do it,
press.
do it.
Yeah,
do
bench
it.
pressing. What
Season
would you say bench
3
pressing?
of
Oxen.
Iliad donor
Yeah.
shoutouts.
Okay. So, ready on Moses, my dad, and Keenan in a competition bench pressing oxen. Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Whoa.
It's insane. They're both going strong.
Wait,
doing a
wait.
bunch. It's just
can't-
whoever can
I
do the
mean-
most in a row.
Moses can't be in this because Moses is Achilles.
No, but
No, but this is
remember,
different. This is
everybody,
later.
everybody brought
It's
back.
just like
Everybody came,
in
was
a
brought back
different
to life.
multiverse.
Hades
Yes.
kind of gave everybody
Yeah,
up.
Exactly.
Okay.
Oh, it's true. We could do multiverse. You
Different
know what?
multiverse.
You have your own headcanon, people, of how this all works together. Your own headcanon.
So, you're doing competition. It's like whoever just can go the longest. So they're going strong. Then all of a sudden, boom, dad crashes. He's done. Just drops ox on him. He's dead.
The oxen. The oxen,
He's
like,
oxen.
impales
He's
him.
dead, or the oxen is dead.
Both.
Oh.
If you're bench pressing an oxen, then
So it's
Yeah,
just between
yeah.
Keenan and Moses. And shockingly, this is crazy. They tie.
no. How's this possible?
I don't know. They both do the exact same amount of reps.
Okay.
And then done. It's over. They just call it over and they tie. And now they have a whole big squabble and like argue and debate. Like they did in the Iliad. Who's
Yeah.
first, who's second.
What
who gets
are
their
the
award.
prizes?
Hang on. Are you
The
implying
prizes?
that we are imitating the Iliad in any of this?
No, not at all.
Yo, that
No.
is
Definitely
not.
Okay. So, first place, get a nice little medal with an ox on it. Second place, gets a thing of wheat.
A weed?
Yeah, wheat.
Oh, okay.
Wheat.
Yeah.
So they just split it. They cut both in half and each take half. There you go.
Solomon solution.
Exactly.
Okay, I like it. All right, first funeral game. Tanner, tell a story of people going swimming
Ooh.
in the Aegean Sea.
Yes, they're going swimming in the Aegean Sea and they're paddling. They're paddling.
Who's they? Tanner?
I don't know.
Tell us.
Paddling?
I don't know.
Find out.
Okay.
Okay.
So, they're swimming, and Emily and Anna are competing, and eventually Anna gets swallowed up by a shark,
Oh man.
Oh my goodness.
and
Whoa.
so Emily wins by
Do
default.
they have a lot of shark
through
attacks
forfeit.
in the Aegean Sea?
Nah, it's
I
pretty
believe
rare.
so.
Yeah,
It's pretty rare.
I believe
It's
so.
just one of those rare moments where the gods intervene.
Yeah, there's like call up a shark.
I just
Yeah.
expect that that's what happens.
It's where your mom intervened. It's where Miss Jenny intervened.
That's right.
Yeah.
My mom is kind of orchestrating all these things.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yes.
She like bed in Vegas and is like pulling the strings to like make sure that.
And so because of this, Mrs. Hall proceeded to give Emily the award and gave her a golden tripod instead of a bronze tripod.
Oh man.
Oh.
I know. Very, very fancy.
Whoa. That's crazy.
All right, Bryson, why don't you tell us the story of some chariot,
Yes.
some chariot racing? Hang on, let me,
Chariot race.
hang on. You set the stage before we.
Yeah. So we're going into one of. I think this is. In the book, this is one of the first, but in our story, this is one of the final games.
Ooh.
Chariot racing. This is a very, very unique sport because only people who have just amazing mares can race in this sport, and their chariots must be pristine. Their horses must be sleek and fast, and only a noble few are able to compete, such as Nana, Miss Jenny, Van Papiamuela, and Howdy. They are all in this competition, and a few of them are considered favorites. I must say, the gods consider Nana their favorite, and they go through and they start the race. It's a very tight beginning, and all of a sudden, Van Pappy's cart just immediately just crashes. I don't know
gosh.
what's happening. It's just like
Gone.
it must be one of the gods. I mean, they
Oh,
had to have done
absolutely.
something.
Must be.
Yeah. So now it's down to just Nana and Howdy and Miss Jenny, and they're all going down there, and it's a very tight neck and neck race. I mean, you'd think that it's just going to be a 3-way tie, but I mean, the gods can't have a 3-way
No,
tie.
They can't have
can't.
time.
Never.
Someone has to win. So all of a sudden, while someone's racing, one of the spokes on their wheel just flies off.
Oh man. Wow.
I'm sorry to say, but it's Miss Jenny's.
No way.
No.
I can't believe it.
The immortal Olympian.
she keeps going.
herself
No
No
Okay.
shot.
falls
She-
flat.
she-
wow.
I will say
She's not
she-
very
she's
happy
still
about
going.
that.
She's not done yet. She will
Oh.
cross the finish line.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
She will cross the finish line. She does not give up easily. No,
So the story's not over yet.
no, it's not over yet.
Yeah.
So, who was left? I don't even remember who I had left. So
You had,
Van Pepe Van Pepe and Howdy. I
Okay.
think are the only ones that are still left. And Howdy continues on. He's pulling away. He's leading. Van Pappy's still close behind. And all of a sudden, one of the river gods just decided he's going to jump in the battle, jump in the race. One of the river gods, he's like, okay, I gotta pick my favorite.
I have a horse in this fight.
Yes. And he picks up Miss Janie and takes her to the finish
Oh,
line.
man.
And she
Oh,
wins
my
the race.
Wow. Wow.
Dang.
Comes through.
You had to know that was happening.
Yeah, I kind of saw it coming.
That's amazing.
All right, well, so the final race is the foot race, okay? And so we have, for this one, Aziz's grandparents, Mike and Sylvia, and Ginny and Uncle Sam, and somehow coming back out of a crashed chariot, my grandfather, Van Pappy.
Oh.
They used to call him Fairy Feet in high school. It's a true story.
Ooh, fairy feet.
Mr. Fairy Feet himself, but now they call him Hermes Feet. So he's going to line up. He's the clear favorite to win.
What about Zara?
Oh, you're right. Zara and Miss Laura are cheering on the sidelines, and they'll come. And don't worry, they'll come in the story later.
Oh, okay,
all right?
okay,
So,
okay, got it.
so we got Mike and Sylvia, we got Jenny and Sam, we got Van Pappy. Okay.
Okay.
They take off. They're running down the track. They're all in sandals and robes and
Togas.
Yeah,
togas. That's more Roman, but I don't know what the Greeks wear. So
Whatever, it's fine.
whatever the Greek version of toga is. Anyway, they got their togas flying out. Then all of a sudden, Zara is just like, you know what? The games are over, and I wanna get in on this action. So she jumps in. She trips up Miss Laura and like seals her time bracelet thing because they do have those.
Oh, okay.
And,
yeah.
and like
Time
starts
bracelet
charging.
thing?
And
I'm getting
surging.
strange Loki vibes here.
Yeah.
Time bracelet.
Okay, so Miss Laura did actually start. I didn't say that. She got in at the last second,
Oh, okay.
but then got knocked out by
Got it,
Zara.
got it.
So
Wow, she got
Dang.
in
She
very
got it.
quickly, got out
Yeah.
very quickly.
okay,
Oof.
but then Angie and Uncle Sam are like fighting with each other because they're married. So
What?
I'm sorry. Hey, all good things. It gets resolved. They're fighting. Then they hold hands because they resolved it. But
Oh.
they're kind of running behind everybody else. So they're kind of out of the
So
race
they're
now.
running
Oh.
and they're holding
Yeah,
hands
right,
all the way.
right, exactly.
Trying to race
So
each
now,
other.
Zara and
I love you
Mike
so
and
much.
Sylvia
I will beat you.
and Van Pappy are up front, right? But now Mike and Sylvia have been holding hands from the beginning, but they're like really fast because they've been doing it for a long time, because they've been married a while. So they're very good at doing this stuff. So they're charging. My grandpa is like still in the lead. Bizarra's coming up fast, and she's playing dirty,
Ooh.
And so she takes out Sylvia, and Mike gets up and picks her up and is like carrying her, but is probably not going to make it in time. So he's out. So Zara is charging on Grandpa Van Pappy. He's making it. He's running fast. And then old Hermes picks him up and just chucks him over the finish line. and old Hermes' feet takes the victory, and Zara is really upset. But she gets second place. So
She has to
Well,
deal with it.
that's the story.
There we go. That's a very weird story. My personal favorite.
Personal
Brexing oxen. Like, come
Yeah,
on.
it's true.
That's amazing.
All right, guys, make sure you check out our website, 412podcasting.com. Bunch of cool stuff over there.
Subscribe to our newsletter. It's 412podcasting/newsletter.
Whoa.
412podcasting.com/newsletter. Leave us a 5-star rating review. Support us. Share with your
Please do.
friends. Check out Monster in the Hollows next week. We recorded it. It's a fire episode. It's going to be great.
Yep.
It is really good.
Until next time.
Keep on booking it.